So here is the truth, mates. You don't need to be shredded to the bone, run marathons all the time, Hyrox every weekend in order to be in shape. You just need to be the everyday athlete. Strong, fit, fast, but still have a life outside of fitness. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the everyday athlete is and why we coined that inside of the Hyrox project and how you can become the everyday athlete yourself. But first, I'm going to take you right the way back to my teenage years when I first stepped in the gym. And it wasn't your traditional weightlifting gym. I actually started MMA at the age of 15. I absolutely fell in love with it, and just a few months later, Pi the Baddie walked into our gym. That's how long ago it was. But at the time, I was training for 2 hours per day, 6 days a week. Because I was a teenager, I had no responsibilities, I didn't go out on the weekends with my mates, I just loved to train. And that's where my journey started. I absolutely loved it in the gym. I was fit as anything, but I looked like this. I wasn't happy with how I looked and I wasn't confident at all. Fast forward a few years later, I then started in the gym and I went full that mode. I started to train like a bodybuilder. Again, I was training 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, eating out of Tupperware, getting jacked as much as possible just so I looked good. But then I lost all my fitness. I then spent years and years going through this cycle of focusing too much on one thing, right the way to 2021 where I put all my emphasis into marathon training, right the way through to 2024, and that's when it all changed. Then fast forward to 2024, the best news in the world happened. I became a dad, and that meant that things had to change. I'm now a family man, I've got a family to look after, I've got my business to look after, I've got to train, but that training needs to amplify these, not take away from them. And that's what the everyday athlete is all about. So first and foremost, what is the everyday athlete? It's to be able to run like a runner and look like a lifter. He's lean, strong, fast and fit, but also can turn up for his family and for his work. He's not tanked on caffeine, and his nutritionist not forced him to have a crash every afternoon. The everyday athlete is for men who want to train for life, not just for physique. So there are 3 P's to becoming the everyday athlete. Number 1 is your physique, and we aim to get to and then stay around 10 to 15% body fat. What this does is it allows you to be super confident with your top off, with your top on, and not at the detriment of everything else in your life. And I'm not the leanest or the biggest, but I can proudly say that I've held my weight around 94 to 96 kg for the last 3 years. Number 2 is all about performance, and it's about setting PBs in the gym, in races, in events, and turning up when asked. To be able to turn up on a Sunday morning and run 10k with your mates. Or if your mates ask you to play paddle, you can happily have a game. Or if your kids want to run around the park, you can keep up with them. It's great when you're looking good, but it's pointless if you can't move. And number 3 is productive. You are the leader of your life, your family, your work, your fitness, but it's pointless being in great shape if you're tanked after every session. It's about turning up at the best version of you and being productive and having the energy for work, for your family life, or anything that's thrown at you. Not just about having abs. So the question then lies, how do you train to become the everyday athlete? And it's simple, strength comes first. If you look at your favorite influencers, the likes of Nick Bear, these have been training for over 5-10 years, lifting weights before they then got into running. You've never seen a runner who's got jacked just from running. We always center our training around the strength work, whether that's 3 days a week in the gym, it might be a push-pull legs, it might be upper lower, whatever that looks like for the specific client, start with your strength work first. The everyday athlete doesn't need to spend any more than 60 minutes in the gym. So I want you to incorporate these 2 things to make your work efficient and cut out all the fluff. Number 1 is to add in compound movements, the likes of your bigger movements like leg press, bench press, deadlift, the things that are moving multiple joints and multiple muscles at the same time to get the most bang for your buck. And then number 2, I would incorporate supersets where you merge 2 exercises back to back, minimal rest, such as a chest press into a row, which makes your workout a lot more efficient, a lot more intense, allows you to get in and out the gym in no longer than 60 minutes. Step 2 is to add in your conditioning. That's mostly going to be in the form of running, circuits, or anything that's going to help you build capacity for strength, but also in life. So I have 2 recommendations when it comes to your conditioning. Number 1, if it's a little bit more running focused, I would incorporate 2 runs into your week. Number 1 being a speed session, and then number 2 being an easy run. Or number 2, if you haven't got the time to get out on another 2 runs per week, I would add in some conditionings at the end of your sessions. So what I would recommend is building like a 20-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible, and incorporate the likes of skiing, row, bike, any movements that are specific to your training, such as Hyrox. And lastly, it's about understanding the specific goal. So if your goal is to run your first half marathon in a few weeks' time, you might shift a little bit more focus towards running. If it's Hyrox like me right now, it might go towards that a little bit more. So whatever your specific goal is at the time, you might want to turn the dial a little bit more towards that. And inside the Hyrox project, we built that exact framework. Just like David, who's in the best shape of his life, he's just PB'd his half marathon, he's about to smash his first Hyrox, and he's just got a promotion in work. And not to mention, he is also a dad. Or Ryan, who's in exactly the same position. He's in the best shape of his life, but he's just got Employee of the Month 3 months on the run. And just like Tom, who's in incredible shape and about to embark on his first half marathon, and in his words, I quote, "It doesn't feel like I'm on a diet." So that's what it means to become the everyday athlete, being strong inside the gym and with your fitness, but also being strong in life as well. And if you agree and you find this video useful, don't forget to drop it a like, subscribe to the channel, and you choose Pretty Smart. Make sure you're checking out this video as well, because it's definitely going to benefit you.